So I'm going to spend the next 5 minutes telling you the very simplified story of my struggles to talk to colleagues on my campus about why ePortfolios. Words like reflection and student narrative resonate in this room, but not so much at home. By context, I coordinate a program called the Electronic Personal Development Plan. It's an ePortfolio in the first year seminar where students answer questions about who they are, why they're in college, and develop academic and career plans. So it all began when my phone started ringing and people were saying they wanted to use the EPDP, but what they said they wanted to do wasn't consistent with what we were trying to do. And so I had to figure out a way to clearly differentiate the EPDP from other portfolios. And I'd say things like the EPDP uses reflection as a primary source for learning. It is a showcase of what students are and what they want to be. It does this, that, it mows your lawn, and I get, what? And so I think the problem is that there's so much potential in ePortfolios, and I wanted to gather all of it and use all of the potential, but in doing that, I lost sight of what I was trying to do in my particular project. So I started looking around, and so this is a Wordle that came from a student survey we did, and it's got great words, classes, plan, goals, but it doesn't say ePortfolio. So I thought, okay, look at the ePortfolio literature. And I get collect, share, collect, select, reflect. This adds some more good words, but it still doesn't differentiate what I was doing from other ePortfolios. So, there I was, and what do I do? How do I say this? And as I'm struggling with this, I'm also thinking about what are the outcomes of this portfolio? How do I assess that? How do I put together professional development? And then it dawned on me, I was asking myself the wrong question. I needed to be asking why, so what, instead of what is an ePortfolio. And I had to go back to the original conversations we had about why we were doing this project. And those conversations had a lot to do with affective and cognitive development, with the idea of increasing goal commitment to promote student success, with the idea that reflective learning was a really good tool for not just college, but lifelong learning. But this still didn't say ePortfolio, so I needed to call in help. So we put together a group of people, the ePortfolio experts on our campus, first-year seminar faculty, student affairs professionals, and we got together and started talking about this question of so what. We met for 18 months and we read a lot of literature on self-authorship, hope theory, integrated learning, reflection, student success. We read, we discussed, we synthesized, we conceptualized, or something like that. It was really pretty messy, it wasn't very linear. So we'd visit, we'd revisit, we'd go off in unexpected directions, but I can say that 18 months was really focused on answering the question of so what, even if it seemed messy. And in the end, we developed this really rich conceptual model that talked about what we want for the ePortfolio. We want students to develop pathways and agency. We want them to develop meaning around the college experience. Now, some of you are probably thinking, great story, Kathy, glad it ended well, but what does this mean for me, besides sitting in a room for 5 minutes and listening to you speak very, very quickly? So I want to leave you with a couple tips to think about this for your ePortfolio practice. Ask yourself why, not what. Focus on deep meaning, not the capabilities of the technology. Be clear, concise, and use visuals to promote connections and growth. Build a community to enrich your conversation, and tie ePortfolios to institutional priorities in really meaningful ways. We want the EPDP to promote degree completion, but we want that degree to have meaning. So I encourage you to engage your campus colleagues and begin your journey of asking the question, so what, when it comes to ePortfolios.